Okay, let's talk about how to break the all or nothing cycle and finally just be consistent when it comes to our goals. So, if you're someone who either goes all in with intensity or drops everything the moment that you slip, this video is for you. So, if your pattern looks like this, you start really strong, you're so excited, you're committed, and then with one busy day or one wobble or one missed task or one little slip up, suddenly your whole plan is ruined. And so you stop altogether. You are not alone. This is one of the most common patterns that I see in smart, self aware, growth orientated people. And it doesn't happen because you're weak or inconsistent by nature. It's because that no one has ever taught you about the middle space, okay? The space between perfect and nothing. And today I want to talk about why this happens, how to break out of this all or nothing loop, and how to finally build consistent, deep, repeatable consistency that lasts. So take a deep breath because shame has no seat at this table, the conversation we're about to have. And so the first thing I want to do is normalize something really important. The fact that you care so much about your goals is a strength. Okay. All or nothing thinkers don't struggle because they don't care at all. Okay. They struggle because they care so deeply and they want to get it just right. But here's a truth that most people never tell you is that your life doesn't and will never change through intensity. It's going to change through consistency. And consistency is not built upon perfection, it's built on the art of returning again and again and again to the game of life. And so, all or nothing is not this like motivation problem, it's a self protection pattern. You probably go all in because you want those results really fast, okay? You want to prove that you can do it. And you want to also avoid the pain of feeling like you're failing. So you go, go, go. But when you cannot maintain that intensity, none of us can, the shame eventually hits. And so you pull back to nothing to protect yourself from feeling like you messed up. And so before anything else lands today, I want you to hear this that you're not broken. You're simply using a strategy that once helped you cope, and now it is time to upgrade it. And so, where does this like all or nothing thinking come from? Okay. And it's definitely not your fault. So, if you recognize yourself here, it's probably shaped by one or more of these little things that have happened to you or you've learned over the years of your life. Number one is if you were praised for being good or excellent, okay, but not for being in progress. Like you're growing up, you might have been rewarded for achievement, but not any effort. You might have got those gold stars, the top marks, being the responsible one. Like then your brain learns, okay, well, if I can't do it perfectly, it's safer not to try. The second reason is like your nervous system is linking imperfection with danger. So maybe you grew up in a home where mistakes weren't emotionally safe. And so criticism, comparison, disappointment, like all those things felt very risky to you. And so now your brain actually fears being in messy progress, even though messy middle is definitely part of the journey when it comes to our goals. The next is having like high standards as part of your identity. If you built a reputation for being super capable, like reliable or high performing, then the thought of people seeing you just actually struggle or be average could feel so freaking uncomfortable. And so you either like push hard or you pull away. And so all of these like all or nothing ways of showing up with our goals is a survival response, not a character flaw. And here's the most empowering part. Anything that has been learnt in your life can actually be unlearned very gently. And so the reframe that's going to set you free, I promise, is rather than thinking that the opposite of all or nothing thinking is all or all or nothing, the opposite isn't all or low effort. It's definitely not. What I recommend is understanding that it can be all or something. All or just do anything, something little. Do something rather than doing nothing. It's learning the skill of doing something even when it isn't perfect. Okay, most of the time it's not going to be perfect. Let's just be honest with each other. It's also learning how to stay in motion even when the pace is small, slow, or messy. Because consistency isn't measured like in the days that you get it perfect. Okay, we're never going to get perfect. Consistency is measured in how quickly you return after the wobble. Read that, like understand that, let that sit. It's how quickly you return after you fall, how quickly you return after you wobble. Now, you don't have to avoid the wobble, okay? It's going to be inevitable, it's part of the process. You just need to learn to shorten the gap between the wobble and the return. And that gap is going to be the thing that changes your life. So, I want to offer you some mindset shifts to help you break this cycle, the all or nothing cycle. The first is this: something counts, it always does. Okay, your brain is being trained to believe that if it wasn't done properly, it doesn't count. But small steps actually compound over time. Tiny things actually still move the needle. And every act of showing up is still going to reinforce self trust in you. The next is understanding that missing a day is a moment, it's not a failure. One off day does not erase all the progress that you've gained in your life. The story that you tell yourself after the wobble or about the wobble is going to be the thing that derails you. So you don't need to start over, you just need to continue. Get yourself back up again and continue. The next is this like idea that consistency is actually built on identity, not intensity. Instead of I have to do this so perfectly, shift to thinking, well, I'm just becoming a person who shows up for herself. Because when you have this like identity based consistency, that will last. Whereas if you have like the pressure based consistency, that's going to collapse. None of us like working under pressure. We don't. Now, another thing that I want to offer you is lowering the bar and lowering the barrier is not lowering your standard. It's just making success inevitable and more accessible to you. If your only version of success is, the one that you allow is like maximum effort version, you're going to either burn out or you're going to quit. I want you to offer and allow for the fact that there can be multiple ways to win. The goal is repetition, not performance. Okay, a 5 minute walk done daily is more powerful than a 90-minute workout done once every 3 weeks. Your life is going to change through repetition, not through, just occasional high bursts of intensity. And so, how do we make this practical? Okay, the simplest way for you to build consistency that sticks in your life is think about these little 3 levels. Minimum. What's a non negotiable tiny version of a thing that you can do? Something that takes 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, then you can have your target. What's your ideal? Like, what do you actually hope for? And what's your stretch? Like the bonus thing. So you got your minimal standard that you can go for, the target that you'd like to achieve, or the stretchy goal. Okay, stretchy, but it doesn't break you when you do have more energy or time. And so let's just say if you want to have a morning routine, the minimum might thing, I'm just going to take a few deep breaths and set one intention. That's just like my basic standard, my lowest bar. The target might be 10 minutes of journaling and then doing the deep breathing and maybe some meditation or movement. Whereas your stretchy one might be just like committing 30 minutes to this whole thing. But I want you to understand is the rule is like even just doing the bare minimum still counts as success always. And why this works is that your brain doesn't experience failure like when you're still doing the little thing. You've decided that's your bare minimum. And so it stops triggering shutdown in you. And so where most people get stuck is at the moment that they wobble, they feel guilty, embarrassed, self-judgment, they experience all the negative emotions, and then that leads to avoidance. But I want to offer you a new little identity anchor. Consistent women are not those who never wobble. They're the women that come back. Returning is a skill. Returning is a win. Returning is a transformation. And so even if you restart 100 times, that's okay. You're still a person that is returns. Like you've learned how to return. And that is someone who succeeds. So your little gentle challenge for this week is just choose one area where you might have been into this like all or nothing thinking before. It tends to take over. And just pick one bare minimum thing that you can commit to for the next 7 days. Like the smallest version that is still honoring you and your goal. It should feel like almost too doable. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so silly. Why am I setting myself that goal? Because it matters. Because a goal this week is not intensity, it's staying in the game. And if you've lived your entire life with this like all or nothing cycle, it just takes like practice to shift into consistency that feels very kind and sustainable. And I've created a free guide to help you take aligned action without the pressure or perfectionism that is going to keep you stuck. The link is in the description. It is such a gentle place to start. And if you're ready for deeper support and structure and accountability to follow through on what truly matters to you, that's exactly what I help you do inside Inspiring Life Academy. You're welcome to explore it if it feels right to you. But as long as you know you don't have to push harder, you don't need more motivation, you just need to stay in motion. Keep on moving, even if that motion is small, because small things done consistently help you become who you desire to be, help you reach your goals. And I promise, like this little identity shift, like you're just someone who does something rather than doing nothing, is where everything changes. And so if this has landed, tell me in the comments what's your one minimum thing that you're going to be choosing to do this week. I'm always, always, always cheering you on, my friend. Take care.